Hey, it's mid-July here, 2022, and I wanted to make a video of a situation that's so common in our line of work and wastes a lot of time and customers' money that I think it merits a description. So we have a project site where basically there's a mixture of downed spruce. This is a site that was logged maybe 30 years ago. Lots of alder thickets, old stumps, too many that you can't really see in here. It's about 10 acres that the customer wants cleared, basically just the alder cleared. They want to leave the spruce trees and make it so that they can essentially mow it with a heavy flail mower or big lawn mower and turn it into a meadow. We had originally told them that the soonest we could get to their project was when the summer dry spell allowed us to get in there with our equipment, which in this case was late June, early July, which is what we did. The customer was very impatient. They wanted it done in March or April, and they didn't like that we were trying to tell them that what they were going to do was going to waste a lot of time and money and cause a lot of frustration. They didn't listen. They hired another contractor to come in and essentially do this. So come in, and now they have all these knee-high, punji stakes and torn up brush. It doesn't make it any easier for the lot to walk through or anything else like that. And then there's some of my work in the foreground, but here, then they covered the site with all of these huge slash piles. And so we were left with basically a mixture of slash piles and something that looked like this, right? And of course the customer was, spent as much with one contractor to clear an acre like that as they were going to pay us to clear 10, and then said, oh, well, hey, and since we already kind of got it partway there, it's going to be easier for you to clear. And that's not the case. It actually takes us longer to disperse a big pile of slash or concentrated debris or go over poorly done mulching work like this than it does to start from scratch. And just to give you a contrast here, so this is what the previous contractor did. This is what our finished product looks like. Okay, so I kind of roughly left a line here, but you can kind of see the difference. Okay, to go directly from this to that takes us the same amount of time as it does to go from this or that slash pile to that. So in this case, the customer, due to their impatience and ignoring, the advice of contractors who've worked here for 15 plus years, ended up spending more money and, having the project take even longer than it would have. So our finished product, this is what it looks like when we're done. I'm the only contractor that I know of, and we are the only company that I know of that can produce this kind of finish, mulch finish, stumps, sticks, and everything from starting material that looks like that on the Kenai Peninsula. I don't know any other contractor that can take a forestry mulching machine. This is what we use. We have 3 of these units and turn essentially a logged slashed field, that kind of stuff, all this into this. So, and that's because a lot of contractors don't use an actual forestry mulcher. They use a rotary cutter, and a rotary cutter is far more likely to create this, right? This is not something that you can walk through or mow or that is sightly. This is inarguably, and I would say it's a lot less useful even than completely undisturbed ground. So, there are lots of different mulchers out there. There are lots of different styles of clearing land. Our goal is to create a meadow-like finish that somebody with a heavy lawnmower or a flail mower can basically turn into pasture, right? We're not necessarily removing stumps, but we're grinding them down low enough below the ground that you can drive right over them. You don't really know that they're there, right? Whereas the alternatives are really wonderfully embodied in this lot, right? You've either got huge slash piles left over that you need to burn or pay to haul off, which is what the other contractor did, or you've got people using the wrong kind of mulching equipment or inexperienced operators who don't know how to run a proper forestry mulching attachment, creating something like this. So when you're thinking about doing mulching for your land, you can ask yourself, You know, do you want a nice finish like that that's going to grow back as essentially pasture, and I haven't even done my final finishing pass on this? Or do you want this, which is essentially useless, and that, which is just a whole other set of problems and takes longer and costs more money? So really think about this when you're making your decision, and listen to the advice of skilled contractors who are going to create a good end product. You know, if it's July and you can pick up the phone and a lot of really talented contractors, or March, a lot of really talented contractors say they're busy, or say, hey, your site's too wet, you may want to wait a bit, then there might be good reasons why they're telling you that, you know? Not everything in this life can happen right away, and usually good things, done well, can take a little bit longer. So, something to keep in mind. Again, we're Southern Exposure, southernexposurellc.com, 907-235-2352. We do this with that. We do not do this or that.